and welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the April, May, and June outlook for the sign of Capricorn. And thank you for joining me. Obviously, you are here watching the video, and so we know that something inside of you has certainly drawn you here today. And if the video and the reading doesn't completely resonate with your situation, I urge you to just, take a deep breath, be open to the reading, be open to the message, because for whatever reason, your spirits have guided you to this video today, Capricorn. And so there is some message I hope that you can get from this, even if it's insight onto a certain aspect of your life. This is a general reading, all right? So we may, whatever the cards come out with is the area that we're going to look at. So it could be work or love. Could be career, could be family, could be healing, could just be a journey of self-discovery that you're on or what have you. So let's get right into cutting your deck, Capricorn. We're going to get it into your full Celtic spread. Straight out, we have the Knight of Pentacles, interesting, and the Five of Wands. Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords has been coming out a lot for people. We have the Seven of Cups. Queen of Swords, the Emperor. We have the Four of Cups, the Devil, which has also been showing up a lot for readings during this period, and the Knight of Swords, and you finally round off with King of Pentacles. Well, interestingly enough, again, just like with some of my other readings, there seems to be a focus here for you, Capricorn, of course, on your abundance. Three of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. And so this is very interesting, right? We have a lot of strong Pentacles energy here. You round this period off in the King of Pentacles position. And also interesting that Ten of Swords would show up for you, because Ten of Swords, I believe, also showed up for Scorpio and quite a few other of the quarterly readings. It has certainly shown up during some of the monthly outlooks and the weekly love outlooks also. Here we have the Devil, which is your card, showing up in the reading. So you're showing up in your own reading. We've had a lot of that this week as well. So let's get right into it. I'm going to come back to Three of Pentacles, my lovely Capricorns. I do love Capricorns. My Venus is in Capricorn. I'm a Sagittarius, but I have a Venus in Capricorn. All right, guys, so center of your reading for April, May, and June. This is strong energy for Taurus. It's Earth energy. It's Knight of Pentacles, the strongest knight in the deck. The most committed knight, the most determined knight in the deck, right? This is someone who will continue on their path no matter how long it takes, no matter how far it requires them to go until they reach their objective. You are covered, however, by a lot of power struggle. Five of Wands here. Capricorn indicates that you're in the midst of a lot of battling back and forth. There are a lot of people around you jockeying for position. Five of Wands is a very competitive energy where everybody feels very strongly about their position and they feel they're right and that's it. So it's a real difficult energy to be around. It can be very childish. You see these are used sort of battling around with their wands. So it can have this feeling of childishness, but it can also get quite brutal. It can get quite brutal because we're talking about people who are really battering each other's passions. So it's like you're really, it's that type of battle where somebody's really like telling you, well, what you stand for is shit and what I stand for is right. So it really goes back, and it's, on both sides, it's a battle clearly. And so it's a very hurtful type of battle, and it really can take a lot of energy out of you. And so interesting, you have this energy covering you for April, May, and June, Capricorn. And it could be that as you are on your path in your career, your business, you're having to deal with a lot of this quarter period. In your conscious position, you're resonating with Ten of Swords, and this is a feeling of really going through a final act of pain or struggle and coming out of this period. So lately, Ten of Swords has really been showing up, and a lot of times, the energy for it comes up a little differently depending on the reading. Here, I believe it's a lot of times, it's been coming out a lot because a lot of us, including you, Capricorn, you are going through one last sort of difficult period before you are about to ascend out of this stage. Ten of Swords definitely indicates completion. It indicates that a long period of struggling and being knocked down and having to pick yourself up is ending. However, what ends this period oftentimes is that last final battle or struggle. And I feel like this period is going to be busy for you with that, right? Because you have a power struggle here. And then you have a Ten of Swords. And so this feels to me like this power struggle is like that last sword, right? So once you come through this struggle, you will then be officially past this stage of your life where you've really probably been having to deal with a lot of struggles back to back. In the back of your mind, in your subconscious, you're resonating with Seven of Cups. And be careful here. Seven of Cups is a feeling of wishful thinking, being a little bit too head in the clouds, a little bit too unrealistic. You may not be grounded, or you may not be making actual moves towards your goals, and just kind of, having an unrealistic outlook on either how happy you think they're going to make you, or how easy it is to achieve them, or how you're going to get them. It's just a sense of delusional thinking in a lot of ways, right? So here we are just too pie in the sky, too fairy tale. And a lot of times what's the problem here also is that there's no grounding, right? There's no grounding to this dream. And so this is generally what makes it unrealistic, is because the individual who's dreaming this dream hasn't really made any real effort on the ground towards it. Of course, you can accomplish anything you really put your mind to. There are very few things that are just out and out, like, unattainable. But everything that you shoot for requires a certain amount of work. And so what makes it unrealistic is if you are not willing, able, or even able to see the amount of work that needs to go into achieving that dream, and you're only ever sort of just wishing for it but not doing that work, that's an aspect of delusion, and that's an aspect of making it feel very unrealistic. So you have to be careful. You can, of course, achieve it, but you got to put the work in. But you're certainly putting work in with that Knight of Pentacles. So I'm going to say that this Seven of Cups is probably in another area of your life, because clearly you're resonating with Knight of Pentacles, which is the workhorse, right? So you are putting that real work into your career, certainly your abundance. But Seven of Cups a lot of times often also includes, mainly resonates with relationships. But it could be anything that brings you happiness, right, and joy. Now you come into this period with a Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords is interesting because she really talks about cutting away that mask, being who you are, being your authentic self. And this is a journey, right? Generally, this is a journey that takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of courage, right? And it isn't just something that comes in, right? All of the court cards are a journey. You journey. The symbolism of the cards and the archetypes of all the court cards are individuals who've journeyed and resonated up to that level, resonating up to a Queen of Swords. That's taken a while. And that's taken a lot of working on yourself, doing shadow work, being courageous, not caring what the world thinks about you, trusting yourself, right? You had to go through that page stage, right, and the knight stage to get to the queen stage. And so you're coming in with a strong sense of self this period, which is very good, Capricorn. You're coming into this period with a high degree of clarity also and understanding, right? So not only are you able to be very authentic with yourself and your feelings, because queens are always water, so they're always associated with the emotional side of a suit. So here we have the Queen of Swords is about being honest about her feelings, right? Not hiding her feelings, not pretending to be somebody else, right? And so in this way, she's honest about that in a different way than the Queen of Cups would be, right? Here we're talking about being honest with her ego, her personality, how she presents herself, how she talks, the ideas that she communicates, how she communicates with people, how she thinks. All that is associated with swords is very authentic to how she truly feels. And this is a strong energy for you to come in with, Capricorn. Now, you round off this period with Emperor energy. And Emperor is a strong card when we talk about this life stage, or the stage of your life where you are building a power base, You are building confidence. You are building structure, stability. You know, the Emperor is, of course, the divine masculine energy. But what the Emperor does is he solidifies, he stabilizes, he brings order to chaos, right? He brings structure, he brings authority. He brings a fire that knows what it needs to do, and that is very strong, very dominant. These are the things we associate with the Emperor. So it's quite interesting that you round this period off with this energy. It could very well be that as you go through April, May, and June, in your work, dealing with these battles, right? You are putting such strong work in it. You have such clarity of mind and sort of, I want to say, you're so connected to your purpose and who you are that you really resonate up to this position by the end of this 3-month period. You may have, by June, really established your authority at work, right? Your seniority, your authority, your wisdom. You may have been voted into a position of leadership or elected into a position of leadership, some of you. But in any case, you round this period off with a real sense of stability and strength and a power base that intrinsically is connected to a sense of authority as well. Right, so it's not just a power base, but it's also a sense of authority as a result of that power base, and vice versa. You know, so perhaps, like I said, there's going to be some kind of authority. Maybe you even have in your community, right? Not only at work, it could be in your community. Now you come into this period with a 4 of Cups. You have Devil energy meeting you. So this is quite interesting. Your attitude is 4 of Cups attitude. So you have a lot of people, Capricorn, that are going to be trying to hand you a cup of love, and you're just absolutely not there for it. You're keeping a lot of people at a distance. You're not allowing them in. And 4, again, see how 4 Emperor is all about stability. 4 in all of the suits in tarot is about stability. And 4 of Cups here, it can be interpreted different ways with regard to stability of the heart. It can be that you have already established or found, or I want to say, created a sense of emotional stability, right? You've gone through a lot, 10 of Swords, and you've already established a sense of emotional stability. You have Queen of Swords also energy, so you're being honest about your feelings, and you don't want that to be disrupted by this new cup coming in. Because a lot of times we're doing quite well, and it's like, you know, half the time we don't want to necessarily accept somebody's cup of love. It's because we're on a good thing, man. You know, we're doing well. We're feeling good. And it's like, oh, man, you know, if I accept this cup of love, like what nightmare of drama may ensue, right? Or am I going to, you know, I'm not saying that from a pessimistic point of view, but I am saying that relationships absolutely engender a certain amount of drama and chaos at certain points. It can't always be perfect. And so sometimes we're just too, you know, connected to our own stability that we've established for ourselves, where we don't really need anybody's help necessarily, and we don't really want anybody coming in destabilizing that. And that's the energy I get from you. Now, sometimes, of course, you could be needing this help, right? And you may be saying no at a time when you really could be needing the help to create some stability in your life. But that really depends on the energy of the reading and the reader and the intuitive message that the reader is picking up. And for me, I am picking up that you are very much more, especially when I see the rest of your cards, you're very much more trying to just maintain your emotional stability. But what meets you is the Devil. And so as you're trying to maintain this emotional stability and really say no to some temptations, I'm going to say here with this cup of love, that you know may take you down a difficult path, you are certainly being bombarded with this Devil energy. So somebody is trying to tempt you. And I think it feels like that for you. I think it feels like, you know what, I really don't want to go down this road with you because this is a toxic road. I know where this leads. You know, the Devil card is your card, Capricorn, but this is definitely not to say that all Capricorns are devils or anything like this. The Devil is actually one of the highest cards for creativity. And creativity goes hand in hand really with the material world, the world of pentacles, the world of earth energy, the world of material energy, which you are a part of. And with the devil, the thing is that it's oftentimes what happens. The devil energy is that darker side of ourselves when we don't have an outlet for all of our creative energy to be able to manifest. When we don't have the right outlet to be able to create the things in the real world that we are dreaming to create, that we have ambitions for creating, because this is why Capricorn is indeed a very highly creative sign, because of its ability to manifest its creativity in the real world, create things in the real world. You're a real master of Earth energy. And so when people, anyone, regardless of your sign, doesn't have a proper outlet that is connected to a higher purpose, a purpose of light and love and sort of healthy emotional and creative expression, when they don't have that and they're very creative people, they will tend to be veered down the road of the devil, where they are led down a path of instant gratification, instant satisfaction, quick satisfaction, toxicity, codependency, addiction, all of the things that kind of feed this hunger for expressing their creativity, but in very, very short bursts. And so they become quite addictive. And they're quite, there's a lot of destabilization with these energies, right? Because they can't be sustained for a very long time, because they're actually very harmful for you. So you have these quick 20-second bursts of satisfaction from whatever this activity is, and then you chase it again. That's the nature of addiction. And the problem why you're always chasing it is that it is ultimately not good for you. That quick satisfaction you get is just like, it's fleeting. It's really not very real. And this is the nature of devil energy and how it comes into our lives. And I wanted to take a minute to describe that to you, Capricorn, because this is your card. And a lot of people don't understand the true nature of the devil in the tarot, and still kind of have too much of a connotation of just evil associated, when in fact it is more or less an internal power struggle that we all have, right? We all have that internal devil struggle with the devil to work towards a higher goal and a higher aesthetic, a higher objective, or to sort of take what looks like in the short term, the easy road, and really descend down something that is generally easy in the short term, but that we will pay for: addiction, toxicity, staying with people because it's easier to stay with them than to do the hard work of leaving them if they're really toxic individuals, etc. So this is the energy that keeps meeting you. So something keeps coming in for you that is a trigger, that is a path, or some kind of activity, person, place, or thing keeps coming into you, and it's associated with this cup of love that is one of those avenues for you, Capricorn, the one who's resonating with this reading. You may have some particular avenue in your life that it's a lot easier for you to go down when you're feeling uninspired or unable to do what you want to do, to be creative, when you're feeling when you're feeling like life's getting you down, and all of that, right? That happens to all of us. There is a go-to path that some of you have that is not good for you, and that is being represented by this devil energy. And whomever, whatever, like I said, people, places, or things that you keep coming up against that's bringing this energy in. I want to say it's a person, because it's certainly something that keeps coming up against your refusal to accept this cup of love. So it could be someone that you've dealt with before that's quite toxic and just not getting no for an answer. Knight of Swords comes in for you, and this is your position for your hopes and dreams, and it's the same position for our nightmares, and our fears and our worries. But here you have a Knight of Swords, and Knight of Swords is very sort of powerfully active and confident at cutting ties with whatever is holding him back. Again, with swords, we're talking about mental, emotional, our sense of self, our sense of confidence and self-esteem, right? That's all tied with swords and the ego. And so the Knight of Swords is at that stage where he is now confident enough to begin to cut away any of the tangible connections he has with people, places, and things, like I mentioned earlier, that are actually holding him back, or that serve to constantly keep him down or unmotivated, or keep him not doing or feeling his best. Right. So when Knight of Swords comes in, these are the difficult conversations you may have with people when you're like, look, I don't want to hang out with you so much, or you just stop hanging out with them, or you make it clear that this is not your lifestyle anymore. You know, somebody who will be coming out of a certain lifestyle, for instance, that was very unhealthy and has stopped talking to certain people, cut certain people out of their lives, not out of punishment or judgment or anything, but simply out of survival, because you realize the more, if you continue to have contact or dealings with these people, places, or things, you're going to continue to suffer. That would be energy of Knight of Swords. Right? Somebody who really rides in and uses that sword to cut that away. It's very difficult to do, but it is necessary. Again, Knight being air, you have air of air energy here. So this is something, this is the energy that is going to require, like I said, those difficult conversations. It's going to require a lot of self-confidence sometimes. People may lash out at you and there may be arguments back and forth. It's going to require you to remain focused and steady and all of the things that are necessary when you think of an air of air quality court card. Now you round off with King of Pentacles, and this is beautiful energy because you're sitting absolutely pretty. You have two strong, powerful energies of authority and leadership here in your reading, Capricorn. And I think that this is really what you are attaining here ultimately. You are going to be resonating up to the position of leadership that I think you know you deserve, right? Wherever that is. Whether that is, and it's certainly going to be in an area that is to do with your career, your business, or your work. And like I said, I have been emphasizing, because I don't think I do that enough in my readings, and especially at a time like this, please don't forget that Pentacles also rules the material world of everything, which includes the human body. So Pentacles, strong Pentacles energy is associated with healers, with health practitioners, people who are, you know, sometimes when we're talking about King of Pentacles, this could be a doctor, a therapist, right? Anybody who's dealing with the physical body in a healing way, you know, in a way of I want to say, mastery, right? Mastering the material plane is also mastering the body. So this is certainly talking healing, cleansing, all of that, right? Sometimes you can be on a path towards physical transformation and healing, and that would generally come out in some way in the reading. But I just want to mention that so that those of you out there, a lot of you are coming to tarot readings who maybe are in the healthcare field. And you're hearing all the time about these Pentacles cards, and you're thinking it's only for people to do with finance, or people to do, only people who have businesses that buy and sell. But we're also talking about people who have a career or whose work involves the healing of the human body in any way, shape, or form. All right, guys? So that is also included. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming out. We have Nine of Cups. Interesting. King of Wands. More court cards. And the Two of Cups, love coming in. Yeah, this Emperor, you got love coming in over this Emperor. Could be somebody coming in for you. Sun energy, so clarity is coming during this period, absolutely. And like I said, this Five of Wands energy of fighting that you have here is something that you're absolutely going to overcome. And it's through our overcoming of struggles, right, and our desire to overcome the struggle, this is how we evolve and become better people. So anytime you have some kind of struggle like this, certainly with others around you, it's a perfect opportunity to transcend and do the work. You do the work because you're committed with the Knight of Pentacles. You have the clarity of that Queen of Swords, and the Sun is here to let you know that things are going to be happening that bring growth and clarity during this period. The King of Wands is there also. Let me start with the top cards first. I'll come back to the King of Wands. So you have the Wheel of Fortune coming in. Right now you have a high degree of good luck and opportunity coming in for you. And it's going to feel very much like the perfect time, right? We have 10 of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune is a 10. Wheel of Fortune events, right, and opportunities generally come in at times in our lives where we've just completed something and are about to start a new stage in our lives. So because the Wheel of Fortune generally brings events that also help bring completion to definitely completion from one place in our lives or stage to another also, because there are these golden opportunities that mark a divergence in our lives most of the time. And so Wheel of Fortune coming in over that Ten of Swords is very, very nice indeed. It just means that this period, you are going to be resonating with a high degree of feeling like luck is on your side, fate is on your side. There are definitely going to be opportunities coming in for you that are going to be golden opportunities for you to quantum leap into this next sort of phase of your life. Now, in the back of your mind, Seven of Cups, as I said before, this is certainly probably about a different stage in your life than your career, Seven of Cups. And certainly here we have that confirmation. Nine of Cups is certainly about some kind of relationship in your life, right? Nine of Cups is a sense of happiness, though, and being blessed, but it is not necessarily having that close connection that resonates up to a 10. It's not necessarily that final commitment that would imply marriage and long term, twin flame journey. Nine of Cups is generally just being very happy and blessed, understanding that you're blessed with good relationships and good connections. Now, that coming over to Seven of Cups, it could be that during this period, this is something you have to remember. You have to remember how blessed you are and be careful with the Seven of Cups energy. I'm going to say, so that you are not too, like I said before, too over idealistic about a particular connection, or too unrealistic, or, just too up in the air and daydreaming about it, when you do, in fact, Nine of Cups does remind you that you do, in fact, have very real on the ground relationships in your life that are blessings. It could be that you are not seeing a current relationship in your life that has the potential for being a twin flame journey. You may not be seeing that relationship and that potential, which is a blessing right now, because you have your head up in the clouds about some other connection that is actually the more unrealistic connection, the connection that really isn't for you. And here you are kind of daydreaming about this maybe other option, other connection, this fantasy, right, that you have. Again, Seven of Cups, somewhat delusional over here, when in fact the blessings that you have and the good relationships that you have right now, this could indeed be the very area where you would be really ending up finding your twin flame. Now let me come back to this King of Wands coming in over Queen of Swords. King of Wands just indicates somebody with a lot of vision coming in. So King of Wands reminds me a lot of times of the Emperor. So it's quite interesting. I think that the Emperor is a person coming in for you, because then we have the Emperor over here being clarified with the Two of Cups. So it's interesting to me. You come into this period with this real authenticity, this real sense of identity that you've worked very hard to come to terms with and to be happy with, sharing with the world, right? And being honest, right? So of course that is that is part of the law of attraction. Whenever we resonate up to a certain level where we are happier and more authentically ourselves, we automatically are kickstarting the law of attraction. Because there's a lot of facets to the law of attraction, but it is basically that, as soon as you feel attractive to yourself, if you feel the love for yourself, the universe understands that this is what you are tuning to, and it brings love to you. So instantly you're calling in your soulmate with just this little resonating up here to the Queen of Swords, if you weren't already at this position in terms of your self-esteem. And then comes this King of Wands individual, and he sees you. Right, and there he is. He does have this kind of very intent, like, okay, I see you, Capricorn. I see you. You're exactly the type of person for me. And then you round off this period again with another strong, I want to say, a strong leader, right? A strong authority figure, a strong leader card, right? The Emperor. The divine masculine coming in, right? More authority. Again, King of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Emperor. And of course, it is clarified with a Two of Cups, which indicates a nice balanced love coming in for you. So it's interesting to me that certainly by the end of this period, there is a love connection that comes into you that is a balanced love connection. Yet and still you come into this period with this attitude of Four of Cups. So it could very well be, I don't believe this person offering you a cup of love is indeed the same sort of this Emperor and this King of Wands. I think this is somebody else that you've been keeping at bay. And because you've been doing that, and because you've basically been continuing to say no to this devil energy coming in, and because this is a knock-on effect to you staying true to yourself, these are all higher vibrational energies. And what's happening is you're kickstarting your law of attraction and bringing in this very, very strong masculine energy that feels to me it's going to be sweeping you off your feet. So this turns out to be an interesting little reading for Capricorn, who is not only about to establish a high degree of abundance and an authority within their own career path here, having golden opportunities coming in. Your whole outlook on life right now and your strength, and you're intentionally making good decisions for yourself and staying away from the negative like the devil and staying away from roles. All of that positive sort of intentional work that you're doing on the ground, working towards your goal, is also bringing in an intense love connection that you're having with somebody who's very, very strong and very much on your level, because you're already going to be resonating up to King of Pentacles. And I am going to say that the Seven of Cups down here is interesting, because in the back of your mind, you are daydreaming about a particular relationship. So you've got a couple things going on as far as love is concerned here, Capricorn. You've got one that you're beating away, and you keep saying F off. You've got one you're dreaming about over here that isn't really all that realistic, but you do also have one that is in there somewhere, and they turn out to be the passionate one, the strong one, the dominating one, the one who's really going to let you know as well. I think they're going to be the one who really is, you know, comes at you. They're certainly the hunter. By the end of it, they're going to have hunted you down and really made their feelings known. And I think you're going to feel really swept off your feet here. Sun brings clarity and growth. Remember, it brings clarity and growth, and it puts the spotlight on you also. Sun can also indicate a high degree of like attention coming your way, Capricorn. And I see that and feel that you have multiple areas of love, but it's like you have them all in their proper position. The one that's really going to catch you off guard is this King of Wands Emperor, who's going to come in, and by the end of June it'll be like pretty hot and steamy. All right, I'm going to leave it, Capricorn, for April, May, and June outlook for you. I do hope it resonated with you. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share the video. Check out the other videos in the playlist. They're going to be up on the screen. If you want to get a private reading, check out the link at the top of your screen. I do a number of different soulmate readings, soulmate connections, twin flame, separation reading. I do career readings. So just go to that link and check out the services that I offer. But for right now, guys, I am going to say have a wonderful second quarter. Do consider joining my channel as a member. If this is something I'm putting out, if I have at least 100 members by the end of March, by the beginning of April, I will be putting out 12 specific love readings for all the signs. I'll call my love bomb readings in one specific area of love. And it's going to be a much more specialized reading, and I'm going to pull several cards. But you can see all of that on my community page. For right now, Capricorn, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time at your next Capricorn reading. Bye-bye now.